on the Texas A&M Sports Network from Learfield. Welcome to the Aggie Basketball Hour with Bucky McMillan. Brought to you by Coors Light, Choose Chill, and Giga Maggie's 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly. Also brought to you in part by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Visit rudys.com to find real Texas barbecue near you. And by Twisted Tea, hard iced tea for the 12th man. Please drink responsibly. Now, welcome to the Aggie Basketball Hour with Bucky McMillan. Here's the voice of the Aggies, Andrew Monaco.
Howdy and welcome. It's another edition of the Aggie Basketball Hour with Bucky McMillan. We are so glad to see you here at Rudy's. We thank you for joining us all along the network, on the 12th Man mobile app, and behind the mic on the Texas A&M Basketball Facebook page. We will revisit last week and the performance Friday night of Ruben Dominguez. 10 threes, 18 as a team, both program records in the Aggies' victory over Manhattan. And we'll look ahead because this week it's the home game tomorrow night against Mississippi Valley State, and then the Aggies go on the road. It's a neutral site affair, taking on Florida State in Tampa. That will be Friday afternoon. All that is straight ahead, as well as the head coach of the Fightin' Texas Aggies. It's the Aggie Basketball Hour with Bucky McMillan, and we will roll on from Rudy's. This is Aggie Basketball from Learfield. When you need a new roof or just have a pesky leak, you want to call on the winning team. It's Schulte Roofing, home of the Bulletproof Roof Guarantee. Get the best. Visit SchulteRoofing.com. It is the Aggie Basketball Hour with Bucky McMillan. So glad you're with us. Great to see everyone here at Rudy's, 504 Harvey Road here in College Station. We get to talk about the week that was. We get to talk about the week. Maybe we'll even peek ahead, more than a week, a couple of weeks ahead in between shows for us, and we get to do it with the head coach of the Fightin' Texas Aggies, Bucky McMillan. Howdy, my friend. How are you?
Howdy. Doing good.
After that game, after a record-setting performance on Friday, that was as close to what we're seeing and what you want for Texas A&M, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, we get a guy that can make 10 threes, we're going to look pretty good. So he had it going on. But I will say this, our team is more capable of shooting that way than the way we've shot the ball up to this point. That's what we have. We have a good shooting team, so the variance of our team is going to be astronomical. And we're shooting it well, we're going to be pretty good. When we're not, we got to keep getting better on defense.
When teams, you used a phrase that Manu Ginobili used with the Spurs. When teams are going nuts, they say, well, you know what, they can't do it all the time. They regress to the mean. You were talking about progressing to the mean. They're not going to miss all these shots. A program record 18 threes throughout there. And yet, Bucky, I feel like this is just part of the building block. This is not going to be an aberration. It's going to be something that we're going to see time and time again, aren't we?
For sure. I did think we were kind of, you talk about regret. Oh, sorry. There we go. Can you hear me better? Okay. We did talk about regression to the norm, or, and basically with variance, were we below the variance? And I felt we were. And I still feel teams, I saw a stat that was like, in the last two games before that game, teams have made 23 of their last 25 field goals and 10 of their last 12 threes or 12 of their last 14. You can't do that with anyone in the gym sometimes. No. So I knew that they were shooting well. We could shoot better. We are what we are with what we got and what we acquired. And we got to play to that. We got to ride with it, and we got to roll with it, and we're going to shoot a lot of them. Hopefully we're going to make a lot more of them.
I loved the 32 assists on 39 field goals, and it's not – one guy has 19 assists. Everybody shares the ball, Bucky, and that one more is so exciting.
Well, that's how we're going to have to play. Yeah. Like, we're going to line up in our league, and we're going to play against teams that they're going to have more draft picks. They're going to be a little more physical, and we're going to have to. Our strength and what we have to play to is being an elite shot decision team, and the shots that we take. And to do that, we got to share the basketball. I think we're one of the top in the country right now in scoring off assisted baskets, and we got to keep it that way. And when you do that, your shooting kind of catches up.
It's interesting in that you can have Kari and Ruben and Rylan, and you started, and we'll talk about Mac in a little bit, and Rashawn. But John Thornton and I joke about, do you want the maroon team or the white team? Because I don't think it matters. You can take your chances. Because when you have Josh and Marcus in that backcourt as well, pick your poison about who you want to take away. Because, again, you've got
elite ball handlers, and both guys can really see the floor, can't they?
There's not a huge gap between our first and second group.
Yeah.
You know, when they play in practice, when we just divide teams, it's always pretty an even matchup. So we got to use our depth, and the ways we can use our depth is to play fast, to lean on teams with full court pressure, and that way we can try to get into the other team's bench. Mm-hmm. When you have a multitude of guys that can make threes, you feel like that the floor is going to be spread. You know, the floor is going to be spread because they have to honor everybody on the floor. Mm-hmm. But you can put lineups out there when Mac's back with Mac at the 4. You play Zach at the 5. You can have Ruben and Rylan on the wings. And, you know, it can be either Pop or it can be Marcus or Jakar or Josh or Jakar at the 1. And, you know, that can be as many as 4 to 5 40% three-point shooters on the floor. And we're going to need that. We're going to have to be a little outside the box this year when we play in our league. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, in years going forward, we'll be able to probably get the exact prototype for what we're looking for, size-wise, length-wise. But with what was available when we were here, we saw shooters. We had to make a decision. Do you want to go with just the prototype but may not be good enough, or do you want to go with some guys that may not be the prototype but they have the skill? Yeah. And so we took the skill, and there's going to be some games that when we're missing shots, we're all going to be pulling our hair out. It's going to happen. And there's going to be some games when we're really shooting it well, where we're going to have some of the top teams in the country say holding their breath. Yeah. And we got to roll with that. That's who we are, and that's what we got to keep building on.
Can you live with the good shot that just doesn't go in as opposed to a bad shot or a forced shot?
Yeah, we can live with that. We can't live with the ball sticking. And I think, you know, we've played 6 games. I think in 5 of the 6 games, we're the hardest playing team on the floor. Mm-hmm. At Oklahoma State, we were awful. Yeah. I didn't do them any favors playing that game, the third game there. But we were just out to lunch. It was strange. I've never had a team like that. Yeah. But I think a lot of that had to do with Pop coming back. They hadn't practiced with him, and that ball was sticking. Yeah. Not his fault, not the team's fault. Trying to get acclimated to each other, and that ball was getting stuck. Yeah. And we got to build on that because Mac's coming back too. Mm-hmm. And you see the ball really moving right now. You saw it in the last game, and we can't let that stop just because players are coming back trying to get acclimated to what's going on. The ball has to move.
They have to fit into this.
Yeah, and they want to. Yeah, they want to. But, you know, it's tough when you haven't been out there to practice as much as they like to. But that ball has to keep moving to keep the defense on the run.
I know it's still early and it's just been 6 games, but you talked about all these players buying into the vision. The vision is now becoming a reality, right?
Well, I thought last game there was sustained effort for 40 minutes in the game, and it was who we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to play with the tenacity and the toughness that everybody can be proud of. That's what I care about the most is, you know, I want the fans when they come to the game, hey, if we make shots, it's a show. It's more than worth the price of admission when we're scoring 110 points. But we want you, even in those games we don't win or we don't shoot it well, you're saying those are our Aggies out there. They're fighting. And so we had that for 40 minutes of sustained effort. Once we get it, it'll never leave this program. Right. You know, like I don't mean like for this season, it'll never leave going forward. Mm-hmm. It's just this is what it takes when you're building with a whole new group of guys. We'll retain some from next year. They'll know the standard. And that's everywhere I've ever been. Yeah. At Sanford or in high school. Yeah. It just takes a second, and once you got it, you got it. But the number one thing, playing as hard as you can for 40 minutes and playing unselfish. And when you can do those things, you're going to play with confidence.
I thought on Friday that depth, and it's one thing to have depth, it's another thing to have depth and talent. And trusting this system and doing it for 40 minutes just flat out wore out Manhattan.
Yeah, it did. We kind of went through a little lull the past couple games before that, just with guys coming back where they had not played in what we did, and our pressure wasn't tuned up as much as it needed to be, and allowed other teams to play slower. Yeah. You could see the strategy. Teams are trying to walk it up, play slower, use the shot clock. And we need to make it where other teams say, well, I'm going to try to walk it up and play slow, but I'm going to have this guy harassing me the whole time I'm doing it to make them go faster, or we take the ball from them. Mm-hmm. And we did that really well in the last game than for the entirety of the game.
And then you can move on from that. Like back to your point, this is the standard. That they will know if they're doing it, right? You don't have to tell them any longer because they've experienced it.
Well, you have 2 options. So people can score in a variety of ways. They can score in the full court. They can score in the half court. And I think that when you really look at some of the analytics of the game, that you'll find out with pressure that, we're allowing, like with our pressure in the full court, it's like 0.81 points per possession, which is really low.
Yeah.
And in the half court, it's like over 1.1.
Wow.
So the point is, sometimes it can feel worse in the press.
Mm-hmm.
But, it can feel worse because there was an uncontested one here or there. But the overall totality of it, when you start to add it up, it makes a lot of sense. So I tell our players, do we want to exert that energy, or do we want to get down there and have to guard for 30 seconds and then wearing you out and then making a shot at the end of the shot clock?
Yeah.
We got to have both. We got to have sustained effort, and then we got to be able to lock down in the half. But this group with our depth needs to be sold out to pressure and playing pressure basketball we call pressing on offense, where we're putting pressure on the other team so we can use our depth.
He is the head coach of the Fighting Texas Aggies. He's Bucky McMillan, and the Aggie Basketball Hour will roll on. This is Aggie Basketball from Learfield. Thanks to the generosity of 12th Man Foundation donors, Aggie student-athletes have the resources to succeed at Texas A&M and beyond. Start your tradition of support today at 12thmanfoundation.com. We continue with the Aggie Basketball Hour with Bucky McMillan here at Rudy's. Coach, kind enough during this break, go a little bit inside the numbers. And this is what I love to ask coaches. When you get this final box at the end of a game, and I know you dive into the number, what do you look at? What jumps out at you when you first look at a box, or even during a timeout, Bucky?
So we're tracking a lot of things during the game.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's deep, way deeper than that. The
Right.
first thing that jumps out to me usually in the middle of the game is minutes.
Yes.
I look to see how many minutes certain players have played so we know we can keep them fresh for the duration of the game. We got student manager or student assistants behind the bench that are tracking our points, how they're scoring their points.
Yeah.
Is in the full court, is in the half court, what's their points per possession, when we trap, when we don't trap, how are they scoring in the half court? Is it penetrations? Is it ball screens? Who is creating advantages for the offense? When I'm on defense and I close out bad, I lose my man, lack of communication. So we have all this going on to say, how are they scoring on us right now?
Right.
And then at halftime, I watch every single basket that they scored on us, and we start to figure out, where we're getting hurt, what's the story.
Yeah.
We also have an HDI report that tells us what should the score actually be.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Yeah.
so basically you can be playing good based on the shots they're getting, the shots we're getting, based on how they shoot, how we shoot. What should the actual score be? And so I'm not going to say which game it was, but we lost a game this year, and we, based on the math and the shots we got, the shots that they got, we actually should have won the game.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
And so there's stuff to that you can say, let's not overreact to something. Another way can happen too. Hey, we're winning, but literally they're getting what they want, and we may not be getting as good as we think.
Yeah.
So that's what we're evaluating constantly during the game when people talk analytics, and when we're just taking a dive into it, how it relates to our system.
The number that you gave me, 4th in the country in assisted baskets, did you say?
Yeah, I think that's right. 4th.
Yeah, and then 7th in what was that? What was it?
So we're 4th in the country in the percentage of our baskets that are assisted, which is 72%, which is good. It means we're sharing the ball. Mm-hmm. And then we're 7th in the country in terms of not taking mid-range.
Gotcha.
So that's good. We want to be in the top 5, right?
Yeah, because you're constantly talking about attacking the basket. And it's everything. Again, there's this thought that in the paint is, you lob it into a big. That's not the case at all, because you can attack from the wings.
Yeah, you really want to get in the charge circle, get free throws, or you want threes. Yeah. You don't want to settle for, contested 15-footers. If you're constantly getting that, it's going to be hard to win. Right. So, if you know the math of basketball, it's hard to win if you're settling for that. That's a very late clock, under 5-second kind of shot. So, we're not settling for that. Therefore, we should have been scoring a little bit more than we scored. Last game, we're breaking out. Let's have another breakout tomorrow. Yeah. And I love when the bigs share. Yeah. A high-low is still a part of this offense. It is. And we play through our bigs a lot. We give it to them on the perimeter. We play through those guys and let them make decisions. And some of our bigs can shoot it. Jamie hadn't made a 3 yet, but Jamie can shoot it. Zach can shoot it. Fetty can shoot layups and dunks. But everybody else can shoot it. Yeah. So we want to play through those guys. I thought it was a really good week, and you've seen him a lot longer, but we got a chance to see him on the court. A very good week for Jamie Vincent, who I think is an intriguing player. Is that a fair word for him? I think his ceiling is high. It is. His high's getting better every day. He's in the gym. Yeah. Those guys that are in the gym, I like to play. Yeah. As we talked about, we have a team that's got a lot of players that are very comparable. call me crazy. I'm going to lean to the guy that's in the gym the most. I mean, we keep up with it.
Yeah.
Like, who's in there? Who's going to, you got to play as hard as you can when you're on the floor, but who's going to be in that gym getting better? He's in there every day.
Yeah.
He's a morning guy, gets in there before practice, and then he's improving. It's paying off.
And on both ends of the floor. What do you have, the block on the one and then the and one at the other end of the floor?
He's a shot alterer, and he can block shots. He can alter shots. We don't have enough of that.
Yeah.
We will have enough of that in years to come.
Yeah.
But we don't have enough shot alters. Like they're too many times are we not affecting the rim shot percentage.
Yeah.
Jamie affects that.
Yeah.
And he's young too.
Right.
So his ceiling is high.
Right. As someone that you can present and future.
Yep.
For this team. I've often thought that there should be a column for shots altered. I really do.
Yep.
I know we do block shots, but boy, and sometimes it's just that threat of that shot blocking presence as well. Jamie has that.
Yep, he does. And I'm telling you, he can shoot, he can score at the rim. His deal is just not a lot of experience in these games. But he's going to get more and more as we go.
Yeah.
And some of these players, like I know Pop's been out and McKenzie's been out. It's provided opportunities for these players to be in crunch time. I mean, I joked about the other day. I mean, not many of us would have thought that, Chris McDermott would be up in that deal on offense at the end of an important game.
Yeah.
But that's going to pay off for him down the road because he's going to need to be in that spot. So it's thrown into it early in the season. You never know. We may have a foul trouble when we're playing Kentucky at home.
Agreed.
And now he's been in that spot, and he's going to be more and more at ease, or Zach, or, Fetty. Fetty even was on a good team last year, but he wasn't in that spot all the time.
Right.
And so these guys are getting good reps and should get more and more comfortable.
Then the moment's not too big for them. The lights aren't too bright for them. When they go in that, the more they get to experience it, the more comfortable they get, don't they?
That's exactly right. And that's one thing. If you play a lot of players, and hopefully we can play a system and an up-and-down style of play that players want to come out of the game so we can give guys reps. An injury or sickness doesn't just kill you.
Yeah.
We got some sickness going on through our team right now. I was joking out there. Some of the boys out there said, hey, I told our basketball players, y'all make sure y'all stay the heck away from the football players.
Yeah.
We got a game tomorrow. We got a huge one here on Friday.
You both do.
Yeah, we both do. Could be a great week.
It could be a really great Friday.
Could be a great opportunity for Aggie sports here. We go play Florida State on Friday, and they're really good. They almost beat Florida, lost by 2. Probably a little ahead of us. Got a little jump start on us early in the spring. Got a good team. But it'd be a great win for us if we get down there and we can do it. But we need to get our guys healthy and full strength, and that'd be great to follow that up with, you know what?
A doubleheader. As you say that, what I have ready, and we'll play it when we come back, right tackle Demetrius Crownover, who played basketball at Grandview, was asked who would be his starting 5 from the football team. Who would be his starting 5 to play? I'm interested because after I had heard it, I said, we got to call Bucky and see if he would be interested in any of these athletes that he's mentioned. So it'll be after we come back.
Oh, fair enough.
You got it. It's the Aggie Basketball Hour with Bucky McMillan. Stay with us. We're at Rudy's 504 Harvey Road here in College Station. And this is Aggie Basketball from Learfield. Texas Farm Insurance wants to give you a VIP Aggie basketball fan experience this year. Go to 12thman.com/maroon contest and register. One winner and a guest will receive game tickets, a Bucky McMillan autographed basketball, and you'll be recognized on the video board during the game. Register today at 12thman.com/maroon contest. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, proud partner of Texas A&M Athletics. So here is right tackle Demetrius Crownover. He lists his Aggie football starting 5.
Starting 5, I put Marcel at my 1. I put Rylan Kennedy at my 2. Putting Cash at my 3. I'm going to the 4, and Deuce Foley's going to the 5.
And what I've done is I have pictures for you, so you can just picture. There's Marcel in Nashville. He's at the point. There's Rylan.
What high school did Marcel go to?
Marcel went to
Montgomery Bell.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I played against him.
You know that.
Yeah.
You're going to know.
Glad I didn't have to play against him.
Yeah. There was a basketball, but it didn't show, so I would just show the athleticism of Cassius Howell.
Yep.
Would be at the 3. There's Demetrius at Grandview. He played with Ernest.
Yep.
He's at the 4, and then here's Big Deuce Fothery at the 5.
They look the part. They look the part.
So I was like, you need to go see Bucky.
Yeah.
What that's leading me to, How much do you like that multi-sport athletes?
Well, here's the thing. I think that it's very hard sometimes for athletes when they're – let me give you this example. If you're a football player and you come into basketball season, you usually come into basketball season late.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to get called up. But once those athletes do get called up, they have an element of physicality. You dang sure know if they're part of winning. They know what winning's like. And when their skills get caught up, they have that toughness to them. And some of our best players have been those kind of players.
Really?
Yeah. It just takes a second.
Sure.
And because the overlap. And if you can be patient, it pays dividends. A lot of coaches aren't very patient with that. They're just kind of like they want to be ready game one. But basketball is a tournament sport. Yeah. And when I was in high school, we won some state championships with some really good football players. And but, when I was looking at that starting five, I don't know why they don't stick to what works. Just give the ball to Marcel and let the offensive line screen for him. That's what's working right now, right?
If you've got Deuce and you've got Crown and Cassius and Ryland, he's going to get to the rim.
Something's been working, right?
Absolutely. No, it's fun. And obviously they are at your games, and I know this squad is also at football. Athletes appreciate athletes, don't they? Not just the hard work that you were talking about, that work in the gym, but they appreciate all that they go through, don't they?
Well, I think that an athlete really knows the adversity that one has to deal with to be a champion.
Yeah,
I think that athletes recognize that, and when you'll really see something is when a team's going through a tough time, maybe you lose a game, is that the athletes know the work that's gone in and how bad that hurts.
Yeah. And
that's when athletes really show up to support each other even more.
Yeah.
Because they know what that's like. Mm-hmm. Right, everybody wants to jump on and support when, we're undefeated right now in football, or if we were undefeated in basketball. Mm-hmm. But it's just that's the easy times.
Yeah,
it's when it hurts.
Yeah,
and I appreciate all the coaches and the players, the good and the bad. Yeah, because that's what it's going to take. I mean, for any athletic program or athletes to be successful. And just like our football team's been very successful, they have a bunch of athletes that know there's highs and lows with it, and you got to stay the course with it.
And it's not just the result. There's highs and lows within the 40 minutes of a game. There were highs and lows on Friday.
Yeah.
Even in a win, correct?
Oh, there'll be highs and lows tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. And I think that the players that have the character that can deal with that and keep improving have the best chance to be successful, whatever their success is. I'm not saying that, the worst team in the country is going to win the national championship, but they may be, they're picked 10th in their league. They may finish 5th in their league, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you got to balance that. But, you looked at there's a group, I don't want to call the team out last year that was number one, and I believe coming into the season, it was last year, the year before, and they don't make the NCAA tournament. They couldn't deal with that expectations on them, and when things started going against them, they didn't have that character to persevere.
Right.
And so you just got to block out the external noises and focus on what you can do and the things you can control to be the best version of yourself week after week and keep improving.
You talked about athletes understanding when it's down. Jamarian Morrow, running back, said he liked to talk to coaches after losses.
Interesting.
Anybody can talk after the wins, right?
Yep.
Or if a coach was reaching out, he knew which ones were reaching out just when Jamarian was doing well.
Yep.
Who were the coaches who reached out and could really relate to him after maybe a tough loss while he was in high school? I thought that was interesting for a young man to understand that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that's one thing in recruiting. You got to find out how players are going to respond when things don't go great. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're going to hire someone as an employee for any field, like you want to know what's their bad.
Yes.
Right? There's some people that have been great players and their A game hasn't been as good as some of the other people's A game, but their F game's not much different than their A game. Michael Jordan, his best game is not the best game in the history of the NBA, but he's known as the greatest player ever.
Right.
If you took the best games in the history of the NBA, he may not even be in the top 10.
Right.
So what's that tell you? What is it? It's what are you every day? What's your standard? And how bad are your really bad games? Can your really bad games be actually not that much different than your A game?
Yeah.
And that's what made Mike, and that's what makes the great players great. Our football team's been great.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
yeah.
Even in our tough moments, we've been better than most others. We have been better than other teams, even when we don't play. That's what makes you.
But the first 30 minutes of South Carolina didn't define them. Just like the last 30 minutes doesn't, but there's finding a way, right, and having that confidence, in adjusting in the midst.
Well, you'll see that in the NCAA tournament. Like when you see a team win a championship or get the Final Four, it's usually not even that they played really well in that final game. You're going to look back and you're going to see some first-round game, second-round game where they should have been knocked off by some team that nobody knows about. But they had some perseverance and got to the next round because their bad wasn't terrible. And that's really what you're striving to do if you're going to be great.
He's Bucky McMillan. This is the Aggie Basketball Hour with Bucky McMillan, and we'll continue from Rudy's. Stay with us. It's Aggie Basketball from Learfield. Or Rudy's.com to place an order for their real Texas barbecue. Enjoy 100% oak smoke meats, delicious sides, and Rudy's signature sauce. And don't forget, Rudy's serves made-to-order and grab-and-go breakfast tacos every day until 10 a.m. It's the Aggie Basketball Hour with Bucky McMillan. Again, we thank you so much for joining us on this Monday. I don't want to keep staying with football, but Sanford was in, and you got a chance to see some friends this weekend, didn't you?
I did. I did get to see some friends. And I want to say this, too, because you just mentioned rainy Monday. Well, you didn't mention it. It's a rainy Monday, but I appreciate everybody for coming out here. Not the greatest weather. Still have the support. Thank you all very much for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I did see some friends.
That's nice.
You know, I saw them on Friday night, and it looked like they were going to a funeral on Saturday morning, but they were to be going to a funeral, they were in as good a spirits as possible.
Yeah. That has to be special, Bucky. As we've talked about before, this is it was a special place for you. It's a chance. You know what I mean when I say make your name. You know what I mean? But we talked about such a relationship with Mark Newton that there were opportunities for you and that honesty between one another, and then this opportunity. And I'll follow it up. I want to ask you about Trev getting extended as well. But when you have an AD who easily could say, no, I want you to stay, but said, no, go, I think that's a lifelong relationship of someone you're looking out for one another, so to speak.
Yeah, because, he had said there's some other opportunities out there that were pretty intriguing ones, and he's just not – I don't see that one place being able to sustain in this day and age of college athletics, and he was honest, and he just – when he said yes, you knew it was real. But, Martin is a real dude.
Yeah.
And I appreciate everyone giving me an opportunity. My high school athletic director, obviously Trev, they all put their neck out there on the line for you. But I believe, like the second high school coach hired in like 40 years, 50 years, something weird like that.
Wow.
So he's putting his neck really out there because that's got to work.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. And sticking his neck out there, and for him to be at the game was great. We're really close, and obviously I appreciate him. It's good seeing him.
So that type of alignment that you had there, you have that alignment with Trev Alberts here, don't you?
Yeah, Trev, the extension. I mean, I just think it's such a great thing. If it's not broke, don't fix it. I know we're all comfortable with Trev. I know let's call it what it is. I know Coach Elko's very comfortable with Trev as well, and. In this day and age of athletics, it takes some business savvy as well.
It does.
And Trev is, for those that don't know him, Trev is highly intelligent. Like, he really is. He's one step ahead. He's highly intelligent. I'm in the meetings. I can't divulge everything that goes on in meetings, but you feel like we're one step ahead when we're in these meetings. That's how you feel. And he's very forward-thinking. He's perfect for what you got to have to be successful in all sports in this climate.
Yes.
And he also does a great job of – it's not you got a basketball program over here, you got a baseball program. Everybody's together.
Yeah.
And that's what this community is, for real, if you really think about it.
Yeah.
And he's done a great job of that. It's got for a big school, big university, Power 5, it doesn't have this, country club vibe to it. It's roll your sleeves up, let's all grind together. And I appreciate that.
You all have, what's he say, head coach meetings.
Yep.
It's great that you can all get in that room. If we're talking about athletes understanding what each other is going through, head coaches do that as well, don't they?
For sure. And then we got great coaches here, good people, genuine people. Mm-hmm. And I know everybody wants to win a championship in every sport, and we never want to lose a game. We know that, and I'm talking about basketball, any other sport. But I can tell you that these coaches, they work very hard. All the coaches here at A&M, and they're good people. I really think that the coaches here fit A&M. I really believe that. I hadn't met one coach here that I didn't feel fit this community. And there's a lot to that.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I agree with the coaches bringing in student athletes who fit A&M. They're also good people.
Yeah, I agree. You got to understand the place to know what fits the place, and I think these people, these coaches here, understand that. And so, you want players. This is what I tell our players: like, we're not going to have players out there that they won't make it here. Let me just say that if they don't put on that Texas A&M jersey and they're proud to wear that jersey,
right,
it's not going to make it.
Right.
And I feel like that's what you got to have in your program.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I want our players to go to Midnight Yell. Mm-hmm. I want them to go to the football games, the baseball games. I want them to see what's up in that crowd, because then they'll know that this place is so much bigger than you, man. Mm-hmm. Like, when you think you're having a bad moment and you're going to decide because you're mad at the ref to not sprint back on defense, dude, you're letting down 1 million people around the world.
Right.
Because what? You're throwing a temper tantrum?
Yeah.
Because it's about how you feel? Mm-hmm. Are you kidding me?
Right.
And so now that doesn't happen in game one. It happens over time with the group. But I can promise you they're way further down the long in that Manhattan game than they were in the first game of the season. Yeah. And we got to continue that.
Coach Elko says you play for the name on the front, but you've earned that name on the back.
That's right.
Correct? But you're playing for that name on the front.
Well, I've heard another coach say it, that, if you play for the name on the front, the name on the back will prosper. If you play for the name on the back, neither will prosper. Neither will.
Great line.
It doesn't work.
Great line. He is the head coach of the Fighting Texas Aggies. Bucky McMillan, they're taking on Mississippi Valley State tomorrow, and a neutral site game in Tampa against Florida State on Friday. We'll take a look at both of those when we return to Rudy's. This is Aggie Basketball from Learfield. 12th man, Aggie NIL is the new program that will maximize third-party NIL opportunities for Texas A&M student athletes. And you can help the Aggies become the national leader in this new era of college athletics. Visit 12thman.com/Aggie NIL to find out how. Well, Ruben hits 10 threes, program record, 18 threes for the Aggies in their 109-68 win. And I like the question that was asked. Did Ruben know that he was near the record?
Well, let me say this. I don't think any of us knew until he tied the record and someone told us, hey, they tied the record.
Yeah.
So if someone told him after that, that's what I don't know about it. But I will say this. Once I found that we were in a timeout, I started drawing up some plays to get him some shots. So records are made to be broken, right?
And that's the beauty of this team, Bucky. This could happen in any home game. A moment like that, or a performance like that, or 109 points like that. That's why you want everybody to experience and be a part of this.
Well, I think that's right. We're capable of really getting going from three-point line, which can just bust a game wide open. The variance in how that we play is going to be really big.
Yeah.
And I think, I say that to the people here. Like, we didn't I love our guys.
Yeah.
We didn't there were some other players that we would have obviously taken as well that were off the board.
Yeah.
So we took what was available, the best players that we felt we could get. And so we have a group that is very heavy dependent on three-point shooting. Mm-hmm. I know you're going to say, well, don't you shoot a lot of threes in the past? Yep, but there was other attributes to those players as well. Mm-hmm. This group, more than any other team I've seen, not the greatest one-on-one defenders. That's not their strength. Mm-hmm. They're getting better. We work it every day.
Yeah. But
they can shoot the basketball. So I say this, there's going to be some games where we're not shooting well, and the variance is going to be really big. That's just the way it is because of what they are.
Yeah.
But there's going to be games where we shoot it great. We just got to stay with them.
Yeah.
Because we're the type of team you look up on an NBA game sometimes, and a team will go play a team on the road, and they may lose by 20 on the road, and they come back and beat them by 25 at home. That might be our team at points of the year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't have many 20-point losses going forward. But my point is, we're never going to be as good as we look sometimes, and we won't be as bad as we look sometimes.
Yeah.
But our goal is to keep fighting to give ourselves a chance to get to the NCAA tournament. And I promise you, you get there to that tournament, you have a good shooting team, anything can happen.
First to six, right? First to six. You got to go 6-0.
Right? That's it. You got 3 14 tournaments. That's the way I look at it.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. But you have Rashawn Agee, who nearly had 2 consecutive double-doubles, right? Yeah. You had Rylan Griffin, who sorely missed him when he goes out, but when you come back, you see the complete game of Rylan Griffin, who really fits how you're playing again. And he talked to us after the game about, as you mentioned, he's in the Final Four as a freshman.
Yeah.
The moment's not going to be too big for him at any point during this season, right? Because he's been through it. But you see that leadership also from a number of guys on this team.
Highly competitive. And you can tell that the guys who have been able to practice the most, Rylan hadn't been hurt. Well, he's sick right now, so hopefully he's going to be good by tomorrow. But but besides that, he's been able to practice throughout. He was one of the few that got here in June. Those guys are further along, and definitely further along with leadership roles. Mm-hmm. So, he's a good player, but he's very, very competitive.
Yeah.
Very competitive, wants to win, and that's what you want out of players. You want players that want to do what it takes to win.
Yeah. Josh knows how to play this. Marcus has been you can't be an ACC point guard and be bad.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So you have that as well, and it's really fun to watch come together. Do you have fun putting these groups of 5, if you will, on the floor and seeing who can elevate each other's game?
Well, here's the thing as a coach, like when you're in it like this with a bunch of new guys, you always think there's some magic trick that's going to, make it all work.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you stay up all night. In the season, I get about 2 hours of sleep, just laying up at night. You live every play. It's tough. I mean, it is tough. You live every play until you get the program where you want it, where this is what they are, and we just got to keep grinding on this. But I'll say this. For the most part, when you come back to it, everything goes back to, hey, we know what we are. This is who they are. We've had enough sample size to know what they are.
Yeah.
We are who we are.
Right.
Let's be who we are. And let's just keep doing that to our best of our ability. And win, lose, or draw, let's roll with it. And so what we have is what I keep saying, a three-point shooting team with depth. We need to be pressuring in the full. We are not the best one-on-one defenders. We need to keep working on it.
Right.
But we need to shoot a lot of threes because that's what we are.
Yeah.
We can't say that, hey, we had 3 or 4 games, we shot it terrible, let's not take as many threes. What's the other alternative for a bunch of three-point shooters? Right?
Yeah.
We say, well, we lost that game by 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
We lost by 20 if we didn't take any threes.
Right.
And I think we got to realize who we are for this season. Even though we're not as dimensional, it can't play with as many dimensions as we will in years to come. Mm-hmm. Let's play with this dimension and be great at it, and let's rally around it.
Yeah.
And let's go with it, and let's see where it takes us.
But it's not just on one side of the floor, stop and jack it up. It goes around the perimeter, the shared basketball. You'll get a paint touch and kick it back out. It's got elements of the old motion offense.
Yeah.
You see a lot of that. Like old is new in a way.
That's
if it was just getting the rebound, running down and chucking, you're not going to stand a chance.
We want to take great shots.
Yeah.
And to do that, you got to share the ball. We wouldn't be a top 10 team in the country and scoring off of assisted baskets right now. Mm-hmm. So basically, most of our points are coming off passes to shots. That is what you really want.
Right.
I wish we could be more north and south on offense right now.
Yeah.
Instead of we're a little too east and west. Mm-hmm. Think about why that is. Our strength is in shooting, not in slashing.
Gotcha.
We don't have as many slashers. Mm-hmm. So, great slashing teams are totally vertical, right? If you think about that, like that guard play, like Josh Holloway is a vertical player. He is by you in a crease. Ruben, he's not getting by my mom, right? And it's just not going to happen. And I don't know if he can guard her. But so it's going to be more east and west with Ruben to get shots.
Right.
But guess what? I mean, my mom's not making 10 threes, and so he can. So we got to realize what we are. And as much as I'd like to be more north and south, some of these players, we're going to be a little bit east and west to get some of these shots for our shooters.
That's like a drop the mic moment. I have to go to break. I can't possibly top that. The final segment of the Aggie Basketball Hour with Bucky McMillan. When we return, this is Aggie Basketball from Learfield. When you need a new roof or just have a pesky leak, you want to call on the winning team at Schulte Roofing. Home of the bulletproof roof guarantee. Get the best. Visit SchulteRoofing.com. This is the week for Texas A&M men's basketball, Mississippi Valley State. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock at Reed Arena. And then on the road, neutral site, Tampa. It's Texas A&M and Florida State. And then you've got the SEC-ACC Challenge. And then you've got SMU in Arlington. This is an important part of the schedule, is it not?
Yeah, for the non-league play, you're going to play 3 really good games not at home.
Yeah.
So, we're playing on a neutral down there in Tampa, but it is in Florida. We're playing Pitt at Pitt, and we're playing SMU in Dallas.
Yeah.
So hopefully the Aggies that are around in Dallas, we'd love to see you out there because that should be a good game. SMU's got a good team this year. We're going to have to really fight this week. I said we're hoping we get a couple guys back healthy and get over this sickness because that Florida State game's first on the list after tomorrow, and that won't be easy at all. We know that. That'd be a great win for us. And then, but if we do that, we got that momentum that we need. We go right up into Pitt. So either way, can't focus on the result. Focus on what we can do to try to be successful. But that's a very good team we're playing. They're playing good ball early.
And tomorrow night is another step, correct, in the right direction?
Yeah, for sure. You'll look at all these teams that you play. They all got good players.
Yes.
We know that. So you can get better in every single game. I'll be the first to tell you, in this game that we're playing tomorrow, this is a game where our players probably have a leg up on their guys in terms of just sheer talent right in this game. And it's not going to be the case every game. But these are good players. But guess what? If talent doesn't work hard, it's not very good, right?
Not at all.
So we got to go out there in this game tomorrow. We got to handle business and control. We can control and play to the standard that we played with in the Manhattan game.
I was just going to say that standard is that's what you measure yourself against is your standard, not anybody else's.
Right. You're playing yourself in every game. We know that.
Right.
Doesn't matter if we're playing the number one team in the country or we're playing a Division III team. You're playing yourself.
Yeah.
What is that standard? For us, that standard is that we're playing as hard as we can play and competing at that level the entire game, playing unselfish, and when you do that, you're going to play with great confidence. In the games that you don't play as hard as you can play, you're probably not going to play with much confidence. And if you're playing hard but you're not playing together, you shouldn't have much confidence. So we got to see a confident team when we get punched in the mouth because we know that we're going to play harder and we're going to play more together.
Yeah, man, you always put the importance on home games, right? That home game tomorrow night.
Well, every win is a great win.
Yeah.
People that don't know how mid-major basketball is and how three-point shooting works may not understand the win versus Montana was a great win.
Yeah.
People are like, well, they're not Power 5. I understand that. But the team went in here, made 16 of 31 threes. We were up by 19.
Yeah.
Complete control of the game. Their point guard, I don't care who's guarding him in those spots. He was getting those shots off. He was just getting them off. And it looked like, hold up now, there's nothing that can stop this right here. But for our guys in that moment to go ahead and close that game out, making all their free throws down the stretch, that's not as easy as you think.
Right.
Because all the pressure's on us in that spot. They're playing loose. They're making every shot. It looks like, did I go to church Sunday? I think I did. What's going on here? I know I did. What's going on? But, you got that going on, and the pressure's on you.
Yeah.
And that was a great win for us.
Yeah.
And so my point is that every win's a good win, and you got to play good basketball to earn these wins.
Absolutely. Hey, beat the hell out of Mississippi Valley State tomorrow, but happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and everyone
and to all
here.
y'all for being here. We thank
y'all
you
for being
so
here.
much.
You
betcha. He is Bucky McMillan. Kevin Menchow is our engineer. Lacey Williams produces the Aggie Basketball Hour with Bucky McMillan in our Learfield studios. I'm Andrew Monaco. We thank you so much for joining us. Thanks and gig 'em. This is Aggie Basketball from Learfield.